What? Where are we, Dobie?
I don't know, but it looks a lot like a children's room, with toys everywhere.
Wait a minute, it can't be. This looks like
The
Evil Doll's room. Hello, everyone! Today, Dobie and I are going to escape from the Evil Doll's house. What will we encounter?
And what awaits us will be a multitude of amazing and mysterious challenges. Our goal is not only to escape, but also to defeat the evil doll herself.
Just look at this room. It even has a special atmosphere that makes you start to feel like a child again.
I completely agree with you, Labrador. Today we will also plunge into childhood and explore the house of this doll.
So, it looks like we need to go through this small passage. The arrows lead to the house. Hopefully, the battle with the doll won't start too soon.
We picked up some candy. I wouldn't try it. She might have poisoned it. We need to find 10 of these candies.
It seems like we need to jump here. Let's postpone it for a bit and explore this house. Maybe we'll find something useful here.
Great. It wasn't in vain that we looked around. We found another candy.
Hooray! Checkpoint so we can die.
How much she loves herself, hanging her own portraits. I think you took your phrase too seriously. There was no need to die for a check.
I accidentally thought it was okay to walk there.
Ahead is another hole. Where are we descending to? It's like we're not far from hell.
Doesn't look like hell. It's a mountain of dishes here.
Listen, for me, a mountain of dishes is hell. I hate washing them.
And I'm the opposite. I enjoy it. I turn on my favorite playlist and sing along. It really lifts my spirits.
It's very strange. It seems like this place hasn't been cleaned in years. Maybe instead of washing dishes, she just buys new ones?
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I can't think of any other explanation for this mess.
It feels like we still have forever to go. I don't see the end in the distance. These arrows do have a mesmerizing effect, almost as if they're intentionally arranged to create an illusion or induce hallucinations.
Did you notice that in this room the floor is lava? But I see roses in this lava. It seems like these are hallucinations.
I see them too. Great, we've reached another checkpoint.
It seems like there's finally an end. Phew, I hope the next location won't involve parkour. I'm a bit tired already.
Some creepy toys, perhaps a demon has possessed them, or the souls of children are trapped inside them. Brr! Scary. By the way, did you know that in Poppy Playtime, the toys aren't actually bloody, but it's a mixture of red poppy? I recently studied the storyline of this game. It's very interesting.
No, I didn't know. I'll definitely check it out in my free time, but just look at how we were fooled. It turns out we didn't see the real end, but now we can see the house in the distance. It seems like we should head there.
Let's hurry up then. I can even see a Ferris wheel. It's a very interesting location. I'd like the amusement park to be close to our police station.
Hey, Dobby, have you ever thought about candies?
Of course, Lab. Who doesn't love sweets?
True that. But do you have a favorite candy?
Well, I think my choice is chocolate candies with nuts. What about you?
I prefer caramel candies. They're like a sweet sound in the middle of the workday.
Agreed. Sometimes caramel can be a real lifesaver. But you know what's even better than candies?
I don't think anything can be better than candies. Well, maybe even more candies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on the same page with you. Candies are just incredibly delicious.
You just look at her. Why is she sitting there staring at us and didn't even say hello?
It seems to me she pretended to be an inanimate doll, but was actually watching us.
Then it's even scarier. Maybe we need to walk around here and find a way to open the gates.
Here it is, the button. Looks like we need to press 3 of these.
It says you can hide here. Looks like we're about to face some dangerous challenge.
Let's go.
And here she is, descending on her long braids. How does she see anything with those eyes?
Oops, let's hide quickly. I want to watch her from a safe place.
Let's climb higher. Maybe she won't notice us that way.
Did you see that? Her braids just flickered past the room. I'd hold my breath.
We mustn't forget our current task, namely to press 2 more buttons.
It's good that we took a look around. It's never unnecessary. Actually, I see quite a few rooms here where we can hide, so this challenge will be very easy for us, especially considering that we have experience as sheriffs.
I constantly hear her whispering. It's very unsettling.
Oh no, she's behind us. We need to hurry and press this button and hide. Let's lighten the mood and ease the tension by telling the folks a couple of interesting stories.
Okay, let me get started. It was a regular morning in our quiet town. Sheriff Dobie and I decided to relax a bit and headed to our favorite corner cafe to enjoy some delicious donuts and good conversation. Just as we were starting to savor the aroma of fresh donuts, our tranquility was suddenly disrupted. We received a call from the evil ice cream vendor, who allegedly hypnotized children with his ice cream and demanded ransom. Without hesitation, we abandoned the donuts and rushed to the scene. The situation was serious, and we needed to act quickly. Upon arrival at the ice cream stand, we found a group of children with blank, trance-like stares, as if they were indeed under hypnosis. We realized that the ice cream contained some strange component that affected the children's minds. Without wasting any time, we devised a plan. I distracted the ice cream vendor by asking him questions about his ice cream, while Dobie searched for and destroyed the source of the hypnotic influence. Thanks to our coordinated efforts, we were able to expose the villain and free all the children from his control. We apprehended the ice cream vendor and handed him over to the police.
Great story, Labrador. In the meantime, we've passed the first mini-challenge and are tackling the parkour again. Let me continue our tales. Waking up to the unexpected sounds of fireworks, I immediately sensed that something was amiss. After all, it was still early in the morning, and such loud noises didn't fit the usual order of things in our town. Getting out of bed, I realized that I needed to check what was going on. Stepping outside, my nose caught something strange. The smell of smoke and fire. Sheriff Labrador, my faithful partner, was already waiting for me outside my house, and his expression said it all. Something serious had happened. Following our instincts, we decided to investigate the area where we heard the fireworks. Soon enough, we found the source of the smoke. A warehouse storing goods for our town was on fire. We quickly approached the scene and began unraveling the puzzle. The traces left at the crime scene told us that it was the work of malicious criminals, unwilling to bring anything good to our town. Gathering all possible evidence, we concluded that our task was to find the culprits and prevent further attacks on our community. Thanks to our efforts and meticulous investigation, we were able to track down the criminals and arrest them before they could do any more harm.
Dobie, you remembered another captivating story as well, but I can already feel that we're close to our goal. The final battle with the boss, the evil doll, is just around the corner. But before that, I want to share one more of my stories. After a long and well-deserved break, when Dobie and I finally returned to work, I felt full of enthusiasm and ready for action. However, to our surprise, the first few hours on duty were completely calm. Not a single call came in, and I began to find it suspicious. Suspicions grew when I noticed that our antenna wasn't transmitting signals. Apparently, something had happened to the wires. We started checking and found that the wires had been chewed through. The culprit turned out to be an evil raccoon, who clearly didn't want us to receive calls and be able to help people. Realizing immediately that our communication was disrupted, I pressed the SOS button to alert the other sheriffs about the problem. We couldn't afford to leave our town unprotected due to unexpected technical issues. Soon after that, the calls started pouring in one after another. It was obvious that people needed our help, and there was no time to waste. Dobie and I immediately headed to the scenes to assist those in need.
Oh my God, while you were telling us your story, we've already started battling the evil doll. Let's give her a fight.
Did you see how that giant candy nearly hit us on the head? We need to not only aim at it, but also dodge its attacks.
She seems to really love sweets. How is she not stuck in another place? Oh, she's a doll.
Shoot more accurately, our shots are missing.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
By the way, Dobie, have you ever thought about the harm of sweets?
Of course, Lab. Sweets can be delicious, but they can also be harmful, especially if consumed in excess.
Exactly. I've noticed that lately our residents have been consuming too many sweets. This can lead to health problems, especially for children.
Yes, and not just for children. We need to inform our citizens about the importance of balanced nutrition and limiting the consumption of sweets.
Agreed. Let's organize a campaign to educate people about the dangers of excessive sugar consumption. Together, we can make our city healthier and stronger.
Yes, we did it. Well done, Sheriff Labrador.
Hold on. Maybe we haven't won yet. I'm not quite sure what she's doing right now.
It seems like I understand what's about to happen, and I'm glad about it.
Oh my, what a ridiculous death. It must be quite embarrassing, especially considering she almost had us for dinner.
Absolutely! It's time to celebrate our victory for real now!
Sometimes even the cringiest dances feel like a victory lap, don't they?
I agree with you, but it's still good that other players don't see it.
It seems like we've reached the end of this place. which means it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching us escape from this house today, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, don't forget to suggest other Roblox places for us to play. We're not saying goodbye. See you later. Hello, dear friends. Today, Dobby and I will be playing the scariest map in Roblox, Doors. We are in for a lot of mysterious challenges, and most importantly, we'll be accompanied by various jump scares and a creepy atmosphere throughout the journey. We hope you enjoy watching.
Yes, hello everyone. That's right, Sheriff Labrador. The fans have been asking us to play this map a lot. Thanks to all the likes and comments. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we've already passed through 2 rooms.
Dobby, finally, we'll test your mettle. You always say you're not afraid of anything, but on all the maps we've played, you've always tucked your tail in fear. Ha ha ha!
Let's focus on the game, Labrador. I hope you didn't forget to put on a diaper yourself.
Look at how many people are with us. I think they, like us, decided to test their nerves. Dobby, how often do you play horror games alone? I get really scared when I'm by myself. It's always less scary with friends.
I don't really like playing alone either. It's definitely calmer with friends. Plus, you can always chat and share interesting stories with friends. It's strange. We're already at the 10th door and haven't encountered a single monster. Maybe the game glitched?
I don't think so, Dobby. These kinds of games love to wait for just the right amount of time, and then a really scary monster suddenly jumps out at you.
Ah, did you see the lights flicker? I think that's a sign that a monster is about to attack.
What? Where did we get teleported to? What should we do? We probably just need to keep moving forward and not look back. It's really scary.
Oh, I get it. We can't just keep moving forward. Let's be careful and watch out for any signs or clues.
Exactly, Dobby. When the turnaround sign appears on the screen, we need to make sure we don't miss it. I hope our whole team handles this monster, or it'll be even scarier alone. By the way, where is everyone? Maybe they got teleported to a nearby room? If that's the case, how does this monster track each player? Maybe there are several of them.
You mean several identical monsters? That's not a bad theory. Maybe we're being teleported to different worlds altogether.
Yes, we defeated the first monster. Looks like our whole team is okay too. Great job, Dobby. It seems there are 2 doors here and only 1 is correct. Do you remember the number of the previous door? It seems it was the 11th door. Oh, there's no 12th door here at all.
I definitely remember that the previous door was number 13. It seems the girl sacrificed herself for our team. Oh no, she's fine. But it must have been painful.
What's that blue light? Could it be another monster attacking us so quickly? I better just walk past as quickly as possible. It's not bothering me anyway. Looks like it was harmless.
We've already encountered 2 monsters. I wonder how many more there are. Please write in the comments. What do you think, Sheriff Labrador? How many doors will we pass today? Judging by our pace, we have a chance to reach the 100th door and beat the game. I really hope so.
I think we'll reach the 50th door. While you were talking, we met an absolutely identical monster with a blue glow. It seems to exist solely to psychologically scare us with its presence. Such jump scares only work on kids. But we've seen worse, haven't we? Perhaps the farther we go, the more frequently we'll encounter monsters. I wonder if it's possible for there to be 10 monsters in one room at once.
Let's keep going. I think we'll encounter a new monster soon. And here comes an attack. The lights are flickering again. Let's run into the closet.
Well, where is it? Was that attack fake and they just scared us? Listen to the sounds. Something cracked, probably the light bulbs.
It seems like we're about to suffocate. We should have practiced holding our breath. Ah, did you see that? Someone just ran by. It's a new monster.
We've already passed 20 rooms, though I don't see one of our team members. Hopefully he'll catch up if you're not dead. Here's a grill. Is this the end? Oh no, it seems we need to do something in the basement to open the gate of the grill. Maybe we need to find something like a button or a lever.
Yes, I think there will definitely be something useful here. Maybe even a flashlight. I think I see a lever behind the grill. Great. He did it.
Let's tell the guys a scary story with an unexpected ending about how you and I went on a spooky quest.
Oh no, just don't remind me of that. I just forgot.
Once I, Sheriff Labrador, along with my partner Dobby, decided to unwind a bit and accept an invitation to a new quest that had opened nearby our precinct. It was called the Labyrinth of Horrors, and we were assured it would be a fun experience. We arrived at the quest, and right at the entrance, we were greeted by an ominous atmosphere. Dim lighting, gloomy decorations, and eerie sounds. But we were confident. What could frighten 2 sheriffs who had been through so many trials?
As we entered the maze, I was full of determination to prove that we weren't easily frightened. The first rooms were amusing, strange sounds and flashes of light. But the further we went, the scarier it became. In one of the rooms, vicious creatures suddenly appeared. Labrador seemed unfazed, but I could feel my heart pounding more and more. It was especially terrifying to encounter a huge wolf that unexpectedly leaped out of the shadows. We kept going, and the tension was mounting. At one of the turns, we were confronted by a group of terrifying clowns, their menacing grimaces and sinister laughter making me flinch. I tried to hold it together, but fear was starting to take over.
In one of the last rooms, just when we thought nothing could be scarier, a huge bear with glowing eyes suddenly leaped out from around the corner. Dobby flinched and I felt him wobble slightly. At that moment, I heard a faint sound and realized that Dobby was genuinely scared. I looked at him and saw a dark stain spreading on his pants, which amused me a lot, but I tried not to show it. We hurried towards the exit, where the quest operator greeted us with a wide smile on his face. We pretended like everything was under control, but I knew that this experience would stay with us for a long time.
Wow, I'd rather forget about it forever, like a bad dream. Why did you record it on video? Now everyone will find out about it. How am I supposed to walk down the street calmly now?
Don't worry, you don't get recognized on the street as often as I do. By the way, do you remember the number of the last door? It was 29, so we should go to the 30th. Hey, girl, this way for us. Open this door.
Oh no, she can't hear you. Write in the chat. But you don't have to write anymore. I hope she survived. Let's just open this door ourselves.
Wow, we found a lockpick. We definitely need to try it out.
My nose is itching. That's not a good sign.
Do you see that? There are scary eyes on the wall. Maybe it's a new monster, and you're not supposed to look at them? Although, we would have died long ago. Let's just keep going.
It suddenly got really dark. The perfect moment to scare us. Did you hear that? Ah!
Pooh, that was really scary. I hope you didn't wet yourself, because ahead of us awaits one of the bosses of this map. Seek.
Very funny. You screamed just as loudly as I did. Better prepare yourself mentally. We'll need to run and crawl through obstacles during the battle with the boss.
How do you know all this, Dobby?
To be honest, I've been preparing.
So you wouldn't be scared?
As you can see, it didn't help much.
Here it comes. It's starting. My paws are already sweating. Phew, let's go.
Run, run, run.
Don't worry, Dobby. We got this. The main thing is to stay alert.
I hope we won't get crushed by a wardrobe. Just don't look back or you might trip and fall.
Did you notice that during the boss battle, we also pass through doors because the room number increases?
That's true. It would be nice to make it all the way to the end of the game like this, because this boss is easier than the boss at the 50th door.
The main thing is not to get caught in the fire. Ouch! It seems like I just singed my tail.
Hooray, we did it. Look how we left him behind. He seemed quite slow. Let's tease him, ha ha ha.
Just be careful. The door might suddenly slam shut and we'll be left alone with him.
Looks like he slammed into the door at full speed, but serves him right. It seems like there are fewer and fewer of us, which doesn't make me happy, but it also shows that you and I are doing pretty well. Maybe we really will make it to the last door.
Meanwhile, we're almost to another boss. Figure. Oh, the lights are flickering again, but we already know what to do.
As far as I know, there are 2 types of monsters on this map that you need to hide from in the closet. The first one is Rush, and the second one is Ambush. The difference is that Ambush can fly by several times in a row, and you can't stay in the closet for too long.
Oh no, Dobby, this guy for some reason came out of the closet too early. I feel sorry for him. He probably blinked and thought the monster had already left. Sigh. Minus one more team member. Well, at least we got his lockpicks and lighter. Let's tell the guys an interesting story about how we saved the city from the cunning plan of a mad scientist to infect all electronic devices. This was the time when we, Sheriff Labradors and Dobby, decided to take a break from our usual work and head to the gaming club in the heart of the city. We couldn't afford to relax often, but sometimes we needed a bit of entertainment too. As soon as we entered the gaming club, we were surrounded by the sound of coins, flashing lights, and excited voices. We headed towards the arcade machines, and I noticed an old machine in the corner that always caught my attention.
We forgot about our work and got completely immersed in the world of arcade games. But suddenly, one of the machines malfunctioned. The screen started flickering and occasionally showed strange images that evoked horror and fear. People began to scream and panic.
We immediately realized that something was wrong. Dobby and I decided to check what was happening with this machine. When we approached it, I noticed a strange device connected to its back panel. It seemed to be some kind of signal transmission device.
While we were dealing with this, we received a call from the sheriff's office. It turned out that electronic devices throughout the city had started displaying similar symptoms. We realized that this was not a coincidence, but the cunning plan of some mad scientist.
We rushed to take action. Our top priority was to find this scientist and stop him before he caused even more damage to our city. We used all of our skills and resources to track down his whereabouts.
Thanks to our persistence and cooperation, we managed to find his hideout in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. He was attempting to activate his device to cause even more chaos, but we thwarted him just in time.
We arrested him and prevented a catastrophe. This incident reminded us that even during leisure time, we must always be vigilant and ready to act when necessary. And although this experience was scary and tense, we were able to overcome it together, like true partners and friends.
Yes, it's wonderful to be a sheriff and have such a loyal and wonderful partner like you. Here we go, Sheriff Labrador. We've reached the next boss. We need to prepare ourselves mentally because it's going to be very challenging.
So, dear friends, this video is coming to an end. If you want to see the continuation of our game, please like and subscribe to the channel. Well, we're not saying goodbye. See you soon. Hello, everyone. Sheriff Labrador here. Can you guess who we're escaping from today? And by the way, I'm not alone.
Yes, Dobby is here too.
As you can see, we're in the house trapped by the evil grandmother. Our task for today is to escape from here. We need to be quiet so as not to wake her up.
But it's not that simple. Don't let her age fool you. She has built a complex of challenges in her house.
Look, she threw away our photo. It seems she hates us.
Let's start the escape. Oh, look, this is a photo of that old man we've already run away from. Looks like they're married.
Oh no, I hope she doesn't wake up from this. Yes, I remember how we escaped from that old man. Be sure to check it out on our channel.
Wow, it looks like this vent led straight to the attic of this house. I hope that Grandma doesn't catch us here. Oh, she even set up mines.
She probably loves cats since there's a photo of one hanging in her attic. Although, all grandmas love cats.
Why do you think this old lady put us in a cage?
As she probably wanted to make soup out of us.
Oh, look, I just noticed we're at a great height, and there are spikes below us.
I hope we don't fall right into the grandmother's mouth when we come out of the ventilation.
I hope so, too. It would be tragic if she ate us right away.
There's a lot of dust in this ventilation. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, look, this grandma is right in front of us. I hope she doesn't wake up right now. Let's jump onto her belly.
Oh, that was unexpected, but it's good she didn't notice us.
Look, are those teeth in a jar? Fee!
I agree, that's disgusting. All right, we need to hurry before she wakes. I didn't even get to finish my sentence.
She's running right after us.
Shoo, what are these snotty green cookies? We'd better not step on them.
She's even farting.
Oh no, she's too close. She might grab us by the tail.
Look, there's a red button in front of us. We need to press it quickly.
This button opened a passage ahead. Let's run there before the evil grandma catches us.
Oh, look how red the evil grandma turned. We should jump next to her.
Look, now she's not even paying attention to us.
There are so many cookies here. I was right when I said she really loves cookies.
The evil grandma is so clumsy that she even knocked over the glass of milk.
Grandma completely forgot about us. She's not even trying to chase us anymore.
Oh, look, it's a giant fan that will lift us straight up.
There are traps along our path set by the evil grandma, but we won't give up. We'll easily overcome them.
I completely agree with you, Dobby. There are no obstacles on our path that we cannot overcome.
Oh, we almost fell back down. We need to be more careful.
Hooray, we've overcome those traps.
Don't celebrate too soon. Let's see what awaits us next behind this door.
Look, we've ended up in some sort of dungeon.
Let's jump on these geysers. I think they'll help us move forward.
Hey, Dobby, don't you think it's getting too hot in here?
I agree with you. It's getting too hot here. Let's get out of here quickly and eat some cold ice cream.
Shoo, the board broke right under us. I hope that doesn't happen again.
Look, there's ventilation again. I think we should climb into it.
The ventilation is dusty again. I hope there are no spiders here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see a giant spider here.
Oh no, we fell into the room where the evil grandma is knitting.
I hope we don't meet her here. I wouldn't want her to knit a scarf out of us.
Listen, it sounds like something gigantic is rolling nearby. Oh, Dobby, I wasn't imagining it. A giant ball of yarn just rolled past us. Oh no, we didn't quite make it to the safe spot in time. I hope we can reach a safe spot before the next one squashes us flat.
I think we just had a bit of bad luck with the timing.
How convenient that there are holes in the walls. If they weren't there, we would have been flattened a long time ago.
Oh, I can see the exit. I hope the end is near.
Hey, Dobby, to make it more exciting as we head towards the final showdown with the evil grandma, let's remember how we saved the city from the evil robot.
Of course, it was one of those days when everything seemed calm until the nightmare began. The sky darkened, and a giant evil robot appeared on the horizon, casting a shadow over our town. The townsfolk were panicking, and we, Sheriffs Dobie and Labrador, knew we had to act fast.
First, we had to calm the people down and organize the evacuation of those in the danger zone. But then we decided to find out more about this monstrous machine.
We were shocked to discover that the robot was controlled by a deranged inventor who had lost control of his creation. The robot was rampaging through the town, causing havoc and destruction.
We realized there was no time to waste. We needed to act swiftly to save the town. We assembled a team and gathered all the resources we could find to stop this mechanical menace.
We devised a plan to disable the robot. It was risky, but we had no other choice. We had to protect our town and its people.
Using our knowledge of mechanics and some heavy-duty equipment, we managed to create a powerful electromagnetic pulse, EMP, device. Our goal was to get close enough to the robot to activate the EMP and shut it down.
With the help of our brave team, we set up a diversion to distract the robot while we got into position. It was dangerous, but we were determined to succeed.
As the robot focused on the diversion, Dobie and I made our move. We got close enough to activate the EMP, and with a loud hum, the robot started to malfunction.
The giant robot staggered and then collapsed, its systems fried by the EMP. The immediate threat was over, but we knew we had to secure the area and ensure the robot was completely disabled.
Working together, we dismantled the robot piece by piece, making sure it couldn't be reactivated. The townsfolk began to emerge from their hiding places, grateful and relieved.
Saving the town from the giant robot, we understood that the power of our unity and determination could overcome any challenge. Thanks to our joint effort, the town was saved, and Labrador and I are proud to have helped our community in its hour of need.
Did you see that giant pool filled with cookies? She's definitely crazy.
Yeah, but there's a trap here. Of course, it didn't work on us, but it was still scary. One wrong move and it's all over.
Look, there's another big fan here. Hopefully there are fewer traps this time around.
This fan has propelled us to crazy speeds.
I love speed, especially when I'm racing on my police bike to respond to calls.
Oh, look, the airflow from the fan lifted us up.
Let's jump carefully so we don't fall into the abyss.
This challenge room is longer than I thought. Hopefully, we'll get out of here soon.
Oh, there's a new obstacle ahead, but we're not afraid of it.
It's interesting why the evil old lady set up these challenges for us.
I think it's useless to dwell on that. Our main priority is to escape from here.
Oh, we weren't careful enough going through that obstacle course. Next time, we should watch our step more closely.
Carefulness and professionalism are crucial aspects of our work.
These pipes are taking us higher and higher. The main thing is not to fall into that abyss.
I think the exit from here is coming up soon. The key is not to rush, and everything will work out.
It's getting boring. Let's tell another story again.
With pleasure. It was one of those serene days when the sun was shining bright and the town was going about its usual business. But then came the relentless rain. At first, it seemed like a passing shower, but it soon became evident that this was no ordinary downpour. The streets were quickly flooding and panic spread among the townspeople. Sheriff Dobie and I knew we had to act swiftly.
First and foremost, we had to calm the frantic residents and swiftly organize the evacuation of those in the flood's path. It was a chaotic scene, with people desperately seeking higher ground as the waters rose.
Once the initial chaos was somewhat under control, we delved into understanding the cause of this sudden deluge.
To our astonishment, we discovered that a reckless scientist was to blame. He had been experimenting with weather control technology and inadvertently triggered this catastrophic flooding.
There was no time to waste. The safety of our town was at stake. We quickly assembled a team of rescuers and set out to confront this new challenge.
Together, we devised a plan to mitigate the flooding and clear the streets. It was risky, but in times of crisis, risks must be taken.
Using specialized equipment and strategic placements, we managed to divert the worst of the flooding away from populated areas and towards safer zones.
Through tireless effort and determination, we were able to stabilize the situation. The water levels began to recede, and the immediate danger passed.
As the town started to recover amidst the cleanup and restoration efforts, Dobie and I reflected on the resilience of our community. It was through our combined efforts and unwavering resolve that we managed to save our town from the brink of disaster.
The experience reinforced to us the importance of unity in the face of adversity. Together, we overcame the challenges posed by the flooding and emerged stronger as a community. Labrador and I take pride in having been able to assist our fellow townsfolk in their time of need.
Hey, Dobby, enough with the story. Look, there's a giant cookie in front of us. Let's get closer to it.
Let's grab it before the evil old lady comes.
I think it's a trap, so be prepared.
We're sheriffs after all. We're always ready.
I guessed it, but it was pretty obvious. What else could the grandma come up with? Look at how many of her clones are here.
When did she manage to multiply like this? I think we need to hurry, or they'll fill up this entire lawn.
Despite all our efforts, the clones of the evil old lady keep coming and coming.
We've already taken almost half of this old lady's health. It's good they gave us a bazooka instead of a revolver. Otherwise, we'd be fighting for a very long time.
Don't celebrate too soon. We need to be more careful or we'll end up trapped here forever.
I've noticed there are two types of grandmas here. Some die from one hit, while others have a lot of HP.
Hooray, we won! That was a thrilling battle.
Oh, I totally agree with you, Labrador. It was not an easy battle.
Now we just need to get out of this cursed house as quickly as possible.
Wow, what a car. It must be some powerful sports car. It even has cookie wheels. Since we defeated that grandma, it means we've accomplished our goal for today.
And that means it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.
See you soon.
Hello, guys. Today, Dobby and I will be taking care of Boo.
But it's not that simple. We need to be extremely careful or else Bo will get angry.
Our task now is to feed Boo. I wonder if he likes broccoli.
I don't think he likes broccoli. No kids like them.
But still, let's find him some food.
I think we can feed him a very tasty burger.
He doesn't seem to want to eat a burger. Maybe he wants a different kind of food.
Let's still try feeding him a burger. After all, everyone loves burgers.
Looks like he's the exception. Let's feed him something more appropriate.
Of course. Let's feed him bananas then.
He's a very picky eater. I think he only likes certain foods.
Let's put him in the fridge. Maybe that way he'll choose what he wants to eat.
Let's try feeding him an apple. I think he'll appreciate our choice.
Phew, look, he finally ate something. We should continue feeding him apples.
The apples are gone. Now he's ready to eat anything.
Let's feed him until he's full.
Let's shove the last burger into his mouth.
I think now we need to wash him. He'll be dirty after eating.
Let's do it. I don't want the whole house to smell because of him.
The main thing is that he fits in the bathtub. Otherwise, it will be sad if he doesn't.
Let's wash him with this sponge, scrubbing his back a bit harder.
Look how he's resisting. He really doesn't want to bathe.
I think he's just playing with us. We still need to wash him no matter what.
Let's scrub him better and better. Most of the dirt is almost gone.
The process is going well. I think we should rinse him off under the shower now.
Exactly. Let's drench him with water thoroughly.
Oh, we've washed him. Now we need to treat him.
Let's rinse off all the shampoo from him completely.
Let's hurry up and finish washing him.
The shower pressure is low. It's hard to do it quickly.
Finally, let's give him his medicine now.
Let's get him down from the top shelf in the bathroom.
We need to be careful in case he starts feeling unwell.
Maybe he's feeling unwell now because we washed him.
Now he's better. He took his medicine and perked up right away.
I think now we should play with him.
Let's play. I think he'll enjoy it. He rarely plays with anyone.
But first, we need to find toys. Otherwise, we have nothing to play with.
Look over there. There's a bunch of toys.
Let's take this ball. Almost everyone loves playing with a ball. Games with it are easy and fun.
I can see he likes it. It's good when others are happy because of your actions.
Just don't throw it randomly. We should make him bounce the ball back to us.
I really enjoy playing with the ball. It makes you feel a real surge of energy.
Yes, I love such games too. My favorite is playing volleyball.
It seems Boo doesn't like ball games as much as we do.
But that's no reason not to play with him. I think the more he plays, the better he'll get at it.
Yes, that's definitely true.
I think Boo has played enough. We should put him to bed now.
Yes, I'm also very tired from this ball game. I wouldn't mind lying down for a nap too.
Where is his bed? I don't know where to put him to sleep.
I'm not sure either. Let's search for it more thoroughly.
It's easy to get lost in someone else's house. I don't even know where the bedroom might be.
We need to find the switch to turn off the light.
I think we should go back to the bedroom. Maybe take a closer look there.
Oh, look, here's the lamp. Let's turn it off quickly.
Now let's put Boo on the bed.
He doesn't want to sleep on this bed. It looks like we should put him in another place.
No, I think he should sleep here, like an adult on a proper bed.
You can see he doesn't want to sleep here. We need to find another place for him.
What do you suggest then? I think we just need to persuade him better to sleep here. This bed is so comfortable and soft. Why wouldn't he sleep here?
I can't seem to find it either. Let's search around the house again more thoroughly.
If only Boo were a bit more talkative, we would have definitely put him to bed by now.
Perhaps our friend Boo isn't very chatty today. I think it will pass, but for now, let's make do with what we have.
Yes, I was very talkative in childhood. I always enjoyed talking to other people, making new friends, and just playing with different kids outside.
I was somewhat like you, Dobby. I really enjoyed playing in the sandbox with other kids, building a castle together, and then joyfully demolishing it as we watched it collapse beautifully.
It sounds like you had an interesting childhood. I, on the other hand, preferred playing tag. I was very fast, and almost no one could catch me.
In tag, I wasn't the fastest, but I always won thanks to my intellect. I devised excellent strategies that served me well. Even now, strategizing continues to be helpful to me.
I enjoyed devising strategies most when playing chess. I even participated in a school chess tournament where I took first place. It wasn't easy, but I managed to succeed.
Chess is a great game indeed. I also enjoyed playing it. It's excellent for developing intellect and strategic thinking.
Oh, nice! Bo settled down on his own spot. Now you can finally get some rest.
Yes, I think we deserve this rest. We need it more than ever.
Let's go ahead and get some sleep now.
Oh, we just woke up and someone's already knocking at our door. We should go open it quickly.
Let's go and open the door then. I don't like keeping people waiting. We didn't invite anyone over, and we didn't order pizza.
Who do we have here?
Wow, it's Bo's friend. When did he manage to invite her over?
He could have warned us, of course, but never mind. It looks like she's hungry too. Well, we can't refuse her, can we? Let's feed her.
Good thing we still have some food left. Enough for both of them.
Oops, there you are. I thought she disappeared, but she just rolled away from us.
I wonder if she's omnivorous or if she has her own picky taste.
It seems she doesn't like pizza. Strange, maybe she's allergic to it.
No, she ate it after all. Wait, we need to check if Bo wants to eat too.
According to our task list, we do need to feed him, but he just won't open his mouth. It's so difficult with these pets. He can't even tell us what's wrong.
Let's assume he wants to eat together with his friend.
Okay, let's check this out. Look, Bo, everything is fine with your girlfriend.
Open your mouth. Here comes the airplane.
Dobie, I think that's a bit too much.
Hooray! He's finally eating. I was starting to suspect that they were turned away from us, and we needed to feed them directly into their mouths.
I hope she won't have any issues, and will also take it in her mouth.
Guys, write in the comments what you think. Who eats more often, boys or girls?
Strange why this obscure drink isn't being taken. Looks like we'll have to order food because they ate it all in one dinner.
They eat so much, they want more. Where can we get it? Oh, we left an apple in our room.
Good thing you remembered. I was starting to panic. By the way, since we're talking about food, Dobby, have you noticed how important it is to eat right, especially in our line of work? It's not just about physical fitness, but also about clarity of mind.
Absolutely, Labrador. Our job demands us to be at our best all the time. I always try to follow a diet that helps maintain energy and focus throughout the day.
Do you remember when we first realized the importance of proper nutrition? In the early days of our careers, we didn't always pay as much attention to it.
Strange. Where did your girlfriend Bo disappear to? That's right. I remember after one late-night operation, we both realized the need to pay more attention to what we eat. Without proper nutrition, such an active job quickly takes a toll on physical fitness.
Guys, eating right is very important for your health.
Where is Bowline? We fed and sheltered her. She couldn't have left without letting us know.
It's strange. Our pet is staring at these shelves. Does he want to read a book?
Oh, poof. Have you seen his expression? He seems displeased about something.
Maybe it's because we overfed him or gave him too much food indiscriminately.
Oh my goodness. Who would have thought there's a secret passage? Ah!
What was that? I even screamed.
Our Bo attacked us. What is going on?
Was it my imagination, or was Bowline sitting in that cage?
Yeah, I noticed that too. So, the main part of this playthrough has begun, and I thought we were just gonna take care of the pet.
Oops, I clicked something. What is this strange menu on our screen?
I think I get it. This is the menu for teleporting between rooms. Let's check the task list.
Oh my gosh, he's so huge and ugly. So, the task list says to get the liquid from under the sink. Good thing we guessed the right room.
All right, next we need to get Reagan from the playroom. I think the playroom is marked with a tennis ball, because that's where we played with our Boo.
I can't understand what happened to our pet. Why is he angry at us and now hunting us?
And he has grown a lot in size. Maybe it's all related to us overfeeding him.
Now we need to go to the bedroom. Dobby, I think we'll never know the truth. We can only speculate.
Oh, there's no Bo here. He used to always keep an eye on us before.
Our task now is to escape from our own house. I can't believe it.
We need to make sure he's not nearby or that he's asleep in order to make our escape.
I don't see him. The front door is nearby, so let's just quickly slip out.
Oh no. It seems he knew we would try to escape and was waiting by the door.
Let's run.
Ah, where do we run to?
According to the task list, we need to turn on the stove. But why?
Are we really gonna shove him into the stove? He won't fit.
I remember now. We found Reagan. Let's use him.
Ah, that was unexpected. Let's stay behind the couch.
Oh, is that it? Where's our pet?
Oh, it looks like this weapon has turned our Bo into atoms.
What a pity. I thought it would just return him to his previous kind state.
What? Oh no, we forgot to turn off the stove before leaving.
Why did we leave if Boo is no longer here?
That sounded very sad, Labrador. However, I think Bowline survived. And maybe we have a chance to get our pet back. But that's something we'll have to find out later.
In the meantime, it's time to find a new adventure. Let's move on to the next game. Hi guys, today Dobie and I have entered the Roblox mode, Escape from Babysitter Betty's Nursery. Don't forget to like and comment.
Hi. So Labrador, we're in the nursery, and it's pretty boring here. Looks like Betty is on the phone. A perfect moment to escape.
Yeah, Betty isn't usually very attentive, but if she gets angry, she becomes a real monster. We need to act quickly and carefully. Hey, do you remember that there's also the janitor Ben?
Of course. Ben is always running around the corridors with his huge mop. He probably dreams of catching us and sending us back to the nursery.
All right, let's start. Look, we need to crawl through this hole in the wall. Hey, Dobie, don't get stuck there.
Aha! I almost thought I was stuck. But no, I made it through. Wow, look, there's a whole maze of toys here. Is that a giant teddy bear?
Yeah, exactly. Let's pass by it and carefully go down this slide. I hope it's not too slippery. Oh, I almost fell.
Ha! Watch your step, Labrador. Hey, what do you think if Betty were a superhero? What would her superpower be?
I think she could teleport so she could instantly appear next to us and send us back to the nursery. What do you think?
I think her superpower would be Sleepy Dust. She would put all the kids to sleep instantly so they wouldn't escape. Oh, look, there's Ben with his mop.
Quick, hide behind this bed. Oh, Ben, you have no idea how close we are to you. Ha!
Whew, that was close. Now let's go through this pillow tunnel. By the way, what if Ben were the main character in a horror movie?
That would be something. The movie would be called Killer Mop Ben Returns. Ha! All right, just a bit more. Let's get to the exit quickly.
I see the door. We just need to get past this builder block and we're free. Hey, look, Betty is back. I hope she didn't see us.
All right, Dobie. Our task is to build a tower out of blocks to climb over this playpen fence. Look, I've already started. Hand me a couple more blocks.
Got it, Labrador. Here are some more blocks. By the way, do you remember how we used to escape from our babysitter when we were kids? She always made us take naps, but we just wanted to play.
Oh, of course I remember. We used pillows as steps to climb out the window. Good times. But now we've got a similar challenge. Almost done. Climb up.
Climbing up. I hope these blocks hold. Whoa, they're wobbling. Hold on tight, Labrador. Who made it? Now we need to build a block tower to reach the ventilation. This pile will do.
Look, there's the ventilation. I'm sure Ben is there. He's always on guard. Haha. He's like our watchdog, but with a mop. Let's get to work. Blocks in place.
Oh, Ben in the ventilation is just hilarious. I remember once he chased us with his mop when we tried to steal some cookies. He should be reminded of that. All right, climbing up.
I'm right behind you. Hey, look, there's Ben. He spotted us. Dobie, do you have a plan?
Of course, let's remember our childhood tricks. Remember how we set up obstacles? We'll do the same now. Let's throw blocks at him and make a run for it.
Great idea. Take this, Ben. Here's a block. Faster, Dobie. There's the ventilation door. Push it.
Hooray, we did it. Whew, we're out. Labrador, as always, you're the best. Remember how we used to escape as kids?
Of course I remember. That time when you put a pillow under the door to keep it from creaking, and then we quietly slipped out into the garden. Ha!
And the babysitter was looking for us all over the house while we hid in the bushes eating raspberries. That was so much fun.
When Dobie and I were little, our parents decided to have an evening without kids and hired a babysitter to look after us. We got the address and went there ourselves since our street was safe and our parents thought we could handle it. Unfortunately, we got the address wrong.
Yes, Labrador, I remember how it was. We approached the house that we thought was the right one. The door opened and a tall man in a white apron with a butcher knife in his hand stood before us. We were a bit confused but decided he must be our babysitter since the address matched.
We entered the house and immediately felt uneasy. The kitchen had large knives hanging everywhere, and there were chunks of meat all around. We noticed a refrigerator that looked suspicious. When he opened it to grab something, we saw jars with what looked like eyes.
I remember how scared I was. Labrador and I started whispering, thinking this guy was a real murderer. He kept playing with the knife and gave us strange looks. We couldn't believe our parents sent us to such a person.
We decided we had to get out of there somehow. But when we tried to leave, he suddenly asked us what we were doing. I almost screamed in fear, but then I pulled myself together and said we wanted to take a little walk.
To our surprise, he let us go. We left the house and ran as fast as we could. We decided to go back home and tell our parents what happened. When we finally got home, Mom and Dad looked worried.
They immediately knew something was wrong. We explained what happened and they realized they had given us the wrong address. The real babysitter was waiting for us at a house on another street.
Dad decided to go back to that house and figure out what was going on. When he returned, he was laughing. It turned out that the man was a local chef preparing for a big banquet. Those eyes in the refrigerator were just pickled olives and cherries.
We laughed about it for a long time, but that incident taught us to be more careful. Ever since then, every time we see a chef with a knife, we remember that day and laugh.
It was one of those childhood adventures that stayed with us for life. Sometimes scary things turn out to be completely harmless. The main thing is not to lose your head and stay brave. Guys, don't forget to like and comment.
Dobie and I were at our station when we received an urgent call. All the babysitters in the world had suddenly started a revolt and taken over one of the daycares in our town. We quickly geared up and headed to the scene. It was hard to believe what could have caused such chaos.
When we arrived, we were met with a strange sight. Babysitters, usually so calm and caring, now looked like an army ready for battle. They had barricaded the entrance to the daycare and were shouting slogans. Some were holding toys like weapons, while others waved around diapers.
We approached cautiously, trying not to provoke more aggression. I attempted to start a conversation with the head babysitter, who seemed to be leading the revolt. She was elderly and stern, but determination shone in her eyes.
She responded that the babysitters were demanding better working conditions and higher wages. They felt undervalued and overworked. This was a full-blown babysitter revolution.
We realized the situation was serious and a peaceful solution was necessary. We suggested forming a committee to address the babysitters' issues and promised to relay their demands to the city authorities. But to do this, they needed to end the revolt and vacate the daycare.
The head babysitter thought it over and agreed. She believed we genuinely wanted to help. We arranged a meeting with the mayor and representatives from the education department to discuss the babysitters' demands.
At the meeting, the babysitters were able to voice their concerns and complaints. The mayor listened attentively and promised to take steps to improve their working conditions. It was decided to increase their salaries, improve their work schedules, and provide additional resources to aid them in their tough job.
After these negotiations, the babysitters calmed down and returned to their duties. The daycare reopened, and the children happily welcomed their babysitters back. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent the conflict from escalating and find a solution that satisfied everyone.
That day showed us how important it is to listen to people and help solve their problems. Even peaceful professions like babysitters can revolt if they are not heard. We learned to appreciate their work even more.
Yes, Labrador, it was an important lesson for all of us. We're glad we could help the babysitters and restore order in our town.
One morning, Dobie and I were at our station when we suddenly received a strange and unusual call. The message stated that a volcano had erupted in the city center, spewing money. We couldn't believe our ears, but we decided to head to the scene and figure out what was happening.
When we arrived, we saw an incredible sight. In place of the old fountain, there was now a real volcano, spewing money instead of lava, bills, coins, gold bars. A crowd of people had gathered around, trying to catch as much money as possible, and chaos ensued.
Dobie and I realized the situation was getting out of control. People were pushing, arguing, and even fighting over the money. We had to intervene quickly to prevent a disaster. I took out a megaphone and started calming the crowd, urging everyone to move to a safe distance and avoid creating a stampede.
Meanwhile, I tried to figure out where this strange volcano came from. we noticed a scientist in a white lab coat nearby, observing the scene intently. I approached him and asked what was going on.
The scientist introduced himself as Dr. Finch and explained that he was conducting an experiment to create a source of infinite wealth. He didn't expect the experiment to get out of control and lead to a money volcano eruption. He was extremely worried and ready to help us solve the problem.
Dr. Finch and I quickly devised a plan to shut down the volcano. He explained the steps we needed to take to safely stop the eruption. While Labrador continued to manage the crowd, Dr. Finch and I worked on deactivating the machine that powered the volcano.
The work was complex and required precision, but we managed it. When the last safety switch was turned off, the eruption stopped, and the volcano began to quiet down. People calmed down, and we were able to restore order.
Dr. Finch thanked us for our help and promised not to conduct any more experiments without proper safety measures. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent a disaster and bring order back to the city.
We completed the mode. See you next time. Hello, everyone. Today we have Sheriff Labrador with you, and
Sheriff Dobie, hi there. We have a special story for you today. We decided to play the Escape from the New Prison mode in Roblox, and we have something interesting for you.
yes, this mode turned out to be really exciting. Imagine, we were framed by our own chief sheriff. He turned out to be a villain and sent us to prison to cover up his crimes. Now we must escape and restore justice.
The Escape from the New Prison mode is very interesting. There are many puzzles, traps, and guards to avoid. We need to show ingenuity, agility, and teamwork to get out of this tangled place.
We started off by finding ourselves in a prison cell. At first, it seemed impossible to escape, but then we noticed that one of the walls looked suspicious. We found a hidden passage behind it.
Yes, that passage led us to the first series of puzzles. We had to activate several levers in the correct sequence to open the door. Labrador and I worked together really well and quickly solved this task.
After that, we faced traps. The floor was covered with lasers, and we had to carefully navigate around them to avoid getting caught. It was scary, but at the same time, very fun.
There were also guards. They patrolled the corridors, and we had to hide and wait for the right moment to sneak past them. A few times we almost got caught, but we managed to get through.
At one point, we stumbled upon a workshop. There, we found tools that helped us unlock a locked door. It felt like real detective work.
The most challenging part was the final stage. We needed to disable the security system to open the main gates. It was a real race against time, but we succeeded.
When we finally broke free, we realized that our mission wasn't over. We need to expose our evil boss and restore our good name. That will be our next task.
This mode really tested us, but we succeeded thanks to our teamwork and ingenuity. Guys, if you like adventure and want to challenge yourselves, be sure to try Escape from the New Prison in Roblox.
Guys, don't forget to like and comment. If you do, you'll find a new toy behind your pillow. We have an incredible story to share with you.
It was something unimaginable. It turns out it was opposite day. All the villains became police officers and the police officers became villains. We almost ended up in jail ourselves.
Yes, when we arrived at the station in the morning, former criminals in police uniforms were waiting for us. They immediately arrested us and threw us in the cells.
And here's the most interesting part. We managed to escape thanks to our loyal subscriber who happened to be nearby. He saw us being arrested and decided to help.
We hid in the basement of an old warehouse and started planning our rescue. First, we realized we needed to save all our subscribers who were also unlawfully detained.
We knew we couldn't do it alone, so we used our old contacts. It turned out some former villains weren't happy with their new status and were willing to help us.
We came up with a plan. First, we needed to break into the prison and free the subscribers. Our old acquaintances helped by creating a distraction on the other side of the city.
While the villainous police were busy, we snuck into the prison through a service entrance. We knew we had little time, so we acted quickly. We found the cells where our subscribers were held and started freeing them.
But it wasn't easy. Some of the subscribers were scared and didn't understand what was happening. We had to calm them down and explain it was all because of opposite day.
Fortunately, everything went smoothly. We led all the subscribers through a hidden tunnel we found by accident. It led to an old park where our allies were waiting.
Once everyone was safe, we started thinking about how to set things right. We contacted Professor Murphy, who had long been studying the phenomenon of opposite day. He said we needed to find and destroy the device causing this effect.
We discovered the device was in the city's central tower, now guarded by the villainous police. But we had no choice. We devised a plan and headed there.
We had to use all our wits and skills to get inside the tower. We disabled the security systems and climbed to the top where we found the device.
Breaking it wasn't easy, but with the help of our subscribers following our instructions, we managed to do it. As soon as the device was destroyed, everything returned to normal.
The villains became villains again, and the police officers became police officers. We returned to normal life and restored order in the city.
It was an incredible day, but we succeeded thanks to our team and loyal subscribers. Thank you all for your help and support.
We will tell you an incredible story about how Sheriff Dobie and I built 3 unique prisons. This was our most extensive and ambitious task to date. Let me start from the beginning.
It all started when we received a task from the City Council. We were commissioned to design and build 3 experimental prisons, each unique in its own way. The first prison was to be made entirely of sweets, the second from old items, and the third from soft materials. We were thrilled by this task and got to work immediately.
We decided to start with the candy prison. Imagine walls made of caramel, doors of chocolate, and windows of candy. We found the best confectioners in town and invited them to collaborate. The work was in full swing. Confectioners sculpted giant candies, cooked tons of chocolate, and created incredible sugar structures.
But as soon as we finished construction, we faced another problem. The candy prison attracted a huge number of ants, wasps, and even bears. We realized we needed a solution quickly. We had to equip the prison with special insect traps and install protective barriers.
Nonetheless, the prison was operational. We conducted experiments to understand how this unusual environment affected the inmates. It turned out many criminals became kinder and calmer, surrounded by sweets. Overall, our experiment was a success, and we moved on to the next prison.
Next up was the prison made from old items. We started collecting antique things, furniture, dishes, carpets, books, and even vintage lamps. All this old stuff created an amazing atmosphere. We invited restorers to help us preserve the uniqueness of each item.
The inmates in this prison constantly felt like they were in a museum. Each cell was furnished with antiques, and many criminals began to take an interest in history, read books, and spend time studying old items. It turned out this environment helped them rethink their actions and consider their future.
Finally, we began building the third prison, made entirely of soft materials. Imagine walls made of pillows, floors covered with soft carpets, and beds draped with plush blankets. We turned to textile craftsmen who created a true soft fairy tale for us.
In this prison, the inmates felt as comfortable as possible. The soft walls and floors reduced stress levels, and many criminals became more calm and balanced. This coziness helped them realize their mistakes and strive for improvement.
We conducted various experiments in each of the prisons, studying how the environment affected the inmates' behavior. In the candy prison, criminals became kinder and less aggressive. In the old items prison, they developed an interest in history and rethought their lives.
Our experiments showed that the environment plays a huge role in rehabilitating criminals. The City Council was impressed with the results, and we received support to continue our research.
So friends, that's our story of 3 unusual prisons. We hope our experiments will help make the world a little better. Now you know a little secret. Be sure to like and leave a comment for this.
This is a story about how one Halloween turned out to be much more memorable for Sheriff Dobie and me than we expected. Let me start from the beginning.
So, that year, Halloween promised to be ordinary. We decided to go door to door collecting candy and enjoying the festive atmosphere. We were in costumes. I was dressed as a superhero, and Labrador was an astronaut.
The evening was going great. We collected lots of candy, but soon we noticed that most of them weren't to our liking. Some were too old, and others just didn't taste good. We decided to throw away those candies, not knowing what would happen next.
As soon as we started discarding the candy, a strange monster suddenly appeared. He was huge, with green skin and eyes that glowed in the dark. The monster declared that he was the guardian of Halloween and punished those who didn't appreciate the candy.
The monster said we had offended the spirit of the holiday and now had to make amends. He gave us a task to collect 10,000 pieces of candy by midnight. or else we would face a terrible punishment.
We were in a panic. There was little time, and we needed to collect a huge amount of candy. We decided to ask our friends and neighbors for help. We explained the situation, and many agreed to assist.
We went around the entire town, knocking on every door and explaining our problem. People were surprised, but seeing our desperation, they shared their candy. We gathered them in large bags and continued our search.
Time was ticking away mercilessly. We ran from house to house, trying to make it in time. At one point, when we almost lost hope, the kids from the local club decided to share their candy with us.
We collected all the candy we could find, and finally, by midnight, we had exactly 10,000 pieces. We met the monster, who inspected our haul. He was impressed with our effort and declared that we had passed the test.
The monster thanked us for respecting the spirit of Halloween and disappeared as suddenly as he had appeared. We were exhausted but satisfied that we had avoided punishment and helped our friends.
We'll remember this Halloween for a long time. It taught us to appreciate every little thing and respect traditions. Thanks to everyone who helped us with this task. Until next time, friends.
See you soon, and remember, respect the candy on Halloween, or the guardian of Halloween might come for you.
Hi, subscribers. It's us again, Sheriff Labrador and Sheriff Dobie.
Hi, guys. Today we're diving into the world of Roblox and playing the Escape from Benny's Restaurant mode. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new episodes.
So, Dobie, tell our viewers what this mode is all about.
Sure, Labrador. Escape from Benny's Restaurant is a mode in Roblox where we're stuck in a creepy restaurant run by a strange chef named Benny. Benny has lost his mind and locked everyone inside. Our task is to find a way out by solving puzzles and avoiding traps.
Yeah, Benny is definitely not right in the head. Did you see him running around with that giant meat cleaver? It feels like he's making soup out of subscribers.
Oh, look! I found the first key. It fits the door to the kitchen. Hopefully there are no hot sauce traps, or worse.
Ha! Can you imagine if Benny poured a lot of Tabasco into the soup? We'd definitely become superheroes with fire-breathing powers.
Labrador, be careful. There's an oil puddle here. We don't need a slip and fall show.
Oh, thanks, Dobie. I thought it was a bonus track for skateboarders. All right, I found wire cutters. I'm going to cut the wire at the exit.
Great. Just watch out for Benny sneaking up from behind. He's a master of sudden appearances, like your grandma with unexpected treats.
Ha ha ha! You're right. My grandma with her cookies could compete with Benny in a culinary battle. Oh, I found a secret room with recipes. Looks like there's another key hidden here.
Benny's secret recipes? Maybe after all this, we could open our own restaurant. But first, let's escape from here.
Well, we've almost got all the keys. We just need to get out of the fridge. Hey, Dobie, this reminds me of the time we tried to make a snow fort in the freezer.
Exactly. Only back then there wasn't a giant chef with a huge knife. All right, I've opened the door. Let's go, Labrador, to freedom.
Freedom is still far away, but I hope we can handle it and defeat this evil chef.
Labrador, do you remember how we had a real adventure with that evil scientist who pretended to be a chef just a week ago?
Of course, Dobie. That was a completely crazy case. This scientist opened the Burger Ore restaurant and started feeding everyone giant burgers. At first glance, nothing unusual, but then something strange began to happen.
Yeah, the residents of our town started gaining weight rapidly. It turned out that this evil genius, Dr. Gloom, had developed special burgers that made people very fat. He wanted everyone to feel the same way he did in childhood, when he was teased for being overweight.
When we got the first call, many residents were already complaining about feeling unwell. We went to Burger Ore and immediately noticed something was off. The restaurant was full of people greedily eating enormous burgers.
I've never seen such huge burgers. They were the size of footballs, and everyone was eating them with such greed as if they had never seen food before. We knew we had to act quickly before the whole town turned into a city full of gluttons.
We started an investigation and discovered that Dr. Gloom was adding a special ingredient to his burgers that caused severe addiction and weight gain. This ingredient was the result of his scientific experiments.
We managed to infiltrate Gloom's laboratory, which was right under the restaurant. There, we found many strange machines and chemicals that he used to create his burgers.
When Gloom realized we had uncovered his plan, he tried to escape. But thanks to our efforts and the help of the town's residents, we were able to apprehend him. He tried to explain his actions by talking about his difficult childhood, but that didn't justify what he did.
We immediately organized a cleanup of the town from those burgers. All the residents received medical help, and we started developing a program to restore their health.
We had a real challenge. It all started when we received the first alarming call about strange occurrences in our town. The locals began to notice that things in their homes were mysteriously changing size.
Yes, at first it seemed like just a prank. But when someone found a giant carrot in their garden the size of a car, it became clear that something serious was going on. We started an investigation and found that all these oddities were happening near the Magic Spoon restaurant.
We decided to go there and talk to the chef who worked there. His name was Mr. Crawford, and he was known for his unconventional approach to cooking. But what we discovered surpassed all expectations.
When we entered the restaurant, we saw that all the items were either gigantic or tiny. Tables, chairs, dishes. Everything looked like it was from a fantasy movie. Mr. Crawford greeted us with a wide smile and offered to explain how he did it.
He showed us his device, a small machine with many buttons and levers. According to him, he developed this device to diversify his cuisine, but he soon realized that he could do much more with it.
Crawford started using his device not only for cooking. He began enlarging items to impress his customers and shrinking things to make them easier to store. But soon, he started using his invention for evil purposes.
He enlarged the streetlights, which caused chaos on the roads. Then he shrank the trash bins, causing garbage to spill onto the streets. We realized we needed to stop him quickly before he did something even more terrible.
We tried to talk to him and convince him to stop, but Crawford was too fascinated by his invention. So, we decided we needed to deactivate the device. It wasn't easy because the device was well protected.
We had to come up with a plan. We distracted Crawford by asking him to show us how the device worked. While he was demonstrating its capabilities, Dobby quietly sneaked up and pulled a crucial wire from the machine.
The device stopped, and the items began returning to their normal sizes. Crawford was furious, but we managed to calm him down and explain that his invention was causing more harm than good.
We confiscated the device and sent it to a lab for study. Crawford agreed not to use his inventions for evil purposes anymore and promised to direct his talents for the benefit of society.
This was another instance where our town was in danger, but thanks to our quick reaction and teamwork, we managed to set everything right.
Have you heard about Cookland? It's an incredible discovery. Imagine an entire planet made entirely of food.
Exactly. Planet Cookland is a true paradise for food lovers. Mountains of mashed potatoes, rivers of chocolate, and forests of broccoli. But the most amazing thing is the inhabitants of Cookland. They don't just live among food, they are chefs themselves.
Yes, they created this planet using their culinary skills and magical ingredients. Every corner of Cookland smells like something delicious. But, when we received a distress signal from there, we realized that not everything was as perfect as it seemed.
Right, Labrador. When we landed on Cookland, we immediately sensed that something was wrong. We saw giant pies cut in half and huge chunks of cheese melting under the scorching sun. It seemed the climate conditions had become unfavorable for their food.
We met the head chef of Cookland, Chef Biscuit. He explained that the planet was experiencing serious problems. Their culinary spells were losing their power, and the food that made up the planet was starting to spoil.
Chef Biscuit asked us to help find the cause of this disaster. We embarked on a journey across Cookland, trying to understand what could have disrupted the balance. Along the way, we encountered many unique creatures, such as macaroni monsters and sugar elves.
And when we reached the center of the planet, we discovered that the source of the problem was a giant caramel volcano. It had started erupting and disrupted the planet's magical balance. We needed to take urgent action.
Labrador and I teamed up with the local chefs and began working on a solution. Using magical recipes and our sheriff skills, we managed to create an antidote for the volcano. We took the freshest ingredients from across the planet and made a giant cooling cake.
The cooler worked! The volcano calmed down, and Cookland's magic began to restore itself. In gratitude, Chef Biscuit invited us to a grand feast where we tasted the most unusual dishes. Do you remember that moon cheese soup? It was something else.
Of course I remember. It was an amazing adventure and a unique experience. We helped save the planet and learned a lot about magic and cooking. Now, Cookland is thriving again, and we can proudly say that we played a part in its salvation.
That was one of the strangest and creepiest adventures in our sheriff careers. Let's tell our friends what happened.
So, it all started when we decided to check out the new pizzeria Robo Pizza. We heard they had great pizza and unique shows featuring animatronic robots.
When we walked in, everything seemed pretty cute. Robots in animal costumes were singing songs and entertaining children. But when we tried to leave after the show, the doors were locked.
Right. At first, we thought it was some kind of mistake or joke, but then we noticed that the robots started acting strangely. Their eyes turned red, and they stopped smiling.
I remember one of the robots, a giant bear named Freddy, came up to us and said, "You can't leave. The party isn't over yet." It was creepy.
We tried to find an exit, but the robots had blocked all the doors. We realized we needed to act quickly and find a way to disable them.
We split up to explore the pizzeria. I went to the control room and you stayed behind to distract the robots. It was risky, but we had no choice.
Yes. I remember trying to strike up a conversation with one of the robots, a huge chicken named Chica. She was telling me about pizza recipes while you were looking for a way to shut down the system.
It was a creepy adventure, but we made it through. It's important to always be on guard, even when you're just going out for pizza.
We finally finished telling our stories and completed this mode. See you in the next mode. Greetings, friends. I'm Sheriff Dobie, and today, along with my loyal partner, Sheriff Labrador, we are diving into an incredible adventure in Roblox in the OBBY Prison Escape Mode. Hello, Labrador. Hello, Dobie. Hello to all our viewers. Today, we have a challenging task: to escape from an underwater prison where the floor is made of water. It seems we've been framed and ended up here because of the merfolk. But no worries, we will find a way out. Yes, Labrador, that's right. This mode is a real test. Imagine a huge prison located underwater. Instead of the usual corridors and cells, there are massive aquariums filled with water where you have to swim to move around. Each cell has puzzles that need to be solved to progress further. Exactly, Dobie. And there are dangerous sea creatures here that will try to stop us. We will need to avoid sharks, electric eels, and even giant jellyfish. But the most difficult part is finding the keys hidden in various corners of this underwater prison. Precisely. So, our task is to find these keys, solve all the puzzles, and of course, uncover the mystery of who framed us and why. I'm sure we can handle this together.
And we need to stay alert because the merfolk might set traps for us. We must be cautious and always keep our ears pricked.
Absolutely right. So, are you ready for the adventure? Let's get started. Good luck to everyone. And don't forget to support us with likes and comments. We'll start with the first level, finding a way out of the cell. Oh, it seems we've already gotten out of the cell and into some strange place.
We're about to embark on a truly exciting adventure. One day, Dobie and I thought, what if we built a super rocket and traveled to all the worlds? We pooled all our knowledge, skills, and a bit of ingenuity to create this amazing machine. And now, the rocket is ready. Dobie, are you ready for launch? Ready.
Of course, Labrador. So, our super rocket, named World Voyager, is on the launch pad. We carefully designed it to withstand any conditions and take us to the farthest corners of the universe. Labrador, did you complete the final technical inspection?
Yes, Dobie, all systems are working perfectly. I checked the engines, fuel tanks, and navigation systems. We're ready for launch. All aboard, friends. Our first journey begins right now. Launch.
3, 2, 1, lift off! The rocket smoothly ascends. We pass through the atmosphere, and here we are, in open space. An incredible sight, right, Labrador?
Yes, Dobie, it's amazing. Our first destination is the moon, as it's the closest world to us. Within a few minutes, we've landed on the lunar surface. Everything is covered in dust, and traces of previous expeditions are visible. But what's this? Someone is coming towards us.
It's the moon inhabitants. They're friendly and have invited us to their market, where they sell unusual souvenirs and items made from moon rocks. We exchanged gifts and learned a lot about their culture, but it's time to move on. Where to next, Labrador?
Dobie, how about Mars? They say there are hidden cities there, We take off again and head to the Red Planet. After a soft landing, we see amazing Martian cities built under domes. These domes protect the inhabitants from the harsh conditions of Mars.
We met a Martian engineer who showed us his inventions. It turns out the Martians are developing systems to process Martian soil into useful materials. We took some ideas into account and set off again.
Our next stop was Titan, Saturn's moon. Everything here was covered with icy lakes and mountains. We put on special suits and went to explore the subglacial caves. In one of the caves, we met the Titanians, intelligent beings living under the ice and feeding on Saturn's energy.
The Titanians turned out to be excellent storytellers. They told us legends about their ancestors and showed us ancient manuscripts carved on ice tablets. We were impressed by their culture and peaceful way of life. Time flew by, and it was time for a new journey.
How about Venus? They say colonies living in the clouds have been recently discovered there. We took off and headed to this mysterious planet. Venus greeted us with a dense atmosphere, but we successfully made our way through it and saw giant floating cities in the clouds.
These cities were built on huge cloud platforms, and the Venusians turned out to be incredibly hospitable. They showed us their technology, which allows them to extract energy from cloud vortices and create artificial rainforests. We spent several days enjoying their hospitality and studying their achievements.
And now it's time for the farthest journey. We set course for Proxima Centauri, the closest star to us. This journey took several weeks, but thanks to our super rocket, we arrived safely. On one of the planets, we discovered an amazing world inhabited by cybernetic beings.
These beings lived in harmony with nature and technology. They showed us their advancements in artificial intelligence and nanotechnology. We were amazed at how they managed to create a perfect balance between life and technology. And so, finally, our journey came to an end.
We returned home, full of impressions and knowledge. It was an incredible adventure, and we're glad you friends were with us all this time. Our super rocket performed excellently, and we will definitely continue to explore new worlds in the future.
Thank you for being with us, friends. We learned a lot, saw incredible places, and met amazing beings. We hope you enjoyed our story.
I will tell you an amazing story that happened to us a week ago. There were so many incidents and calls in our town that Dobie and I just couldn't be everywhere at once. So we decided to take extreme measures and clone ourselves. Dobie, are you ready to tell how it all started?
All right. A week ago, Labrador and I turned to our old friend, Professor Tesla, who specializes in biotechnology. We explained our problem to him, and he suggested creating our clones. We knew it was risky, but we had no other choice.
Professor Tesla developed a special machine that could create exact copies of us with the same skills and knowledge. He assured us that the clones would act and think just like us. After a few hours of work, our clones were ready. We named them Dobie 2 and Labrador 2. The robbery was orchestrated by a gang known as the Dark Shadows. They were professionals, and it would have been tough for us to handle them. But our clones rose to the occasion. They infiltrated the bank through the ventilation system and managed to neutralize the robbers using their hand-to-hand combat skills and strategic thinking.
Meanwhile, Labrador and I received another call, a fire at a factory. We rushed there to help the firefighters. There were many people in the factory, and they needed to be evacuated urgently. Working together with the firefighters, we managed to save all the workers and prevent the fire from spreading to neighboring buildings.
During this time, Dobie 2 and Labrador 2 received a call about a hostage situation at a school. There were armed criminals on the scene, and the situation was very tense. Our clones started negotiating with the criminals while simultaneously devising a plan to rescue the hostages.
Using cleverness and negotiation skills, the clones managed to distract the criminals and secretly enter the school. They then neutralized the criminals and safely evacuated all the children and teachers. It was an incredibly brave and professional act.
Meanwhile, several more incidents occurred in our town. A jewelry store robbery, street races, and a highway accident. But thanks to our clones, we were able to handle each of them. Dobie 2 and Labrador 2 acted like real heroes, and people started noticing that the sheriffs could be in two places at once.
But not everything went smoothly. A few days later, we noticed that our clones were starting to behave strangely. They became more aggressive and unpredictable. Professor Tesla explained that the clones might begin to develop their own personalities and go out of control.
And then, one evening, our clones caused real chaos in the town. They decided they could become the new rulers of the town and started setting their own rules. We had to step in and stop them.
It was a tough battle. Our clones knew all our tactics and moves, but we used our wits and experience to outsmart them. In the end, we managed to neutralize them and bring them back to Professor Tesla.
The professor apologized for what had happened and destroyed the cloning machine. We realized there are no shortcuts to success and that we have to handle all challenges ourselves, relying on our own strengths and mutual support.
This was an important lesson for us. We understood that despite all the difficulties, true strength lies in our team and our ability to work together. Thank you for being with us, friends. We are always ready to help, and no difficulties will stop us.
A week ago, Sheriff Dobie and I used a teleport to travel to the future and the past. It all started when we received a mysterious device from our friend, Professor Tesla.
Professor Tesla explained that his new invention could move us through time. He gave us the task of testing the teleport and finding out how it could be used for the benefit of our town. We immediately agreed and began our journey.
First, we decided to travel to the past. We set the teleport to 50 years ago and found ourselves in our town when it was completely different. Old buildings, people in retro clothes, and vintage cars. It was all amazing. We met a young Sheriff Jack who became our mentor.
It was an unforgettable adventure, friends. We hope to use the teleport again to make our town safer. Thank you for being with us. Until next time and new adventures.
Hello, friends. Sheriff Labrador is back with you.
And Sheriff Dobie, today we've got something truly epic in store. Labrador and I have jumped into Roblox to try out the epic prison escape mode.
Oh yes, this prison is a real fortress filled with traps and obstacles. According to legend, only the most desperate criminals end up here, and no one has ever made it out alive. But of course, Dobie and I couldn't resist such a challenge.
It all starts with us being thrown into a dark cell where it seems like there's no way out. But our first step is to find a way out through the ventilation shaft. Just imagine us crawling through narrow pipes, dodging lasers, and navigating slippery walls.
Oh yes, this prison is a real fortress filled with traps and obstacles. According to legend, only the most desperate criminals end up here, and no one has ever made it out alive. But of course, Dobie and I couldn't resist such a challenge.
And that's not all. Along the way, we'll have to evade guards and surveillance cameras. If we get spotted, the alarms will go off, and we'll have to run even faster to avoid getting caught.
And of course, the climax, the final showdown. At the end of the route, the prison's head warden awaits us. It's a massive robot armed to the teeth, and we'll need to defeat it to finally break free. It won't be easy, but we've got this.
There are tons of surprises waiting for us, friends. This mode has it all. Adrenaline, breathtaking obstacles, and truly epic moments. So, if you want to see if we can escape this prison, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
It was an ordinary day when Dobie and I were getting messages from our informants. Everything was going as usual until we received one strange, anonymous tip. Someone claimed that deep within the sugar fields, there was a prison made entirely of sugar. At first, we didn't believe it, but our curiosity got the best of us.
Naturally, we decided to check it out. As soon as we arrived, we were greeted by a small grove, beyond which stretched a vast plain covered in sugar. Taking only the essentials with us, we moved forward. The further we went, the more bizarre things we noticed. Houses, sculptures, and even bridges were all made of sugar.
After several hours of walking, we saw an enormous sugar castle. This was the prison. The walls sparkled in the sunlight, and the air smelled of caramel and vanilla. As we later learned, this prison was created by an evil confectioner to imprison anyone who tried to steal his secret recipes.
Getting inside was no easy task. We discovered a hidden passage through an underground tunnel that led straight to the base of the fortress. Inside, everything was made from different kinds of sugar, from sugar cubes to granulated sugar. Despite its sweet appearance, the traps were extremely dangerous. Imagine sticky floors that could pull anyone into a sugary pit.
Once we made it to the main corridor, it became clear that this wasn't just a prison, but a real labyrinth. The walls were made up of thousands of sugar tiles that could be shifted to create new paths or block old ones. We encountered patrols of sugar guards, giant lollipops on sticks that were guarding the perimeter.
We had to use all our wits to get past these sweet giants. We found out that they were very sensitive to water, and with a simple water flask, we were able to temporarily disable them. But that was just the beginning.
Deep within the prison, we stumbled upon a secret recipe vault. This place was guarded not only by the sugar guards, but also by incredibly complex puzzles. One wrong move, and you could find yourself trapped in a sugar trap forever. We had to solve ancient formulas to advance further.
But the hardest part was finding the way out. We realized that the castle was constantly changing as soon as someone tried to escape. The sugar walls would shift, and the paths we had taken would disappear. It was a real challenge, but we didn't give up. Labrador and I gathered all the clues and notes we found along the way to piece together an escape plan.
Finally, in one of the deepest chambers, we discovered an escape plan left by a prisoner who apparently never made it out. We followed his instructions and found the main exit, but the path to it was guarded by a giant sugar monster. This creature was made from the toughest sugar we had ever encountered.
After a long and intense battle, we managed to defeat the monster by destroying its core with a powerful explosion. The sugar crumbled around us, and we saw a bright light. It was the exit.
We stumbled outside, barely able to stand. The entire prison began to collapse as soon as we crossed its boundaries. Everything around us started to melt like a sugar house, leaving only a sweet scent in the air. We were exhausted but satisfied. We had uncovered the secret of the sugar prison and destroyed it.
We'll remember this day for a long time. We proved that no sweet walls or lollipop guards can stop us. But now, I think we need a break and something salty to eat. After all that sugar, I'm craving something different.
It all started when we received a distress message from our friends. They were in trouble and had been imprisoned in the most secure prison we'd ever seen. This prison was built deep in the forest, surrounded by high walls and barbed wire, and it was said that escaping from it was impossible. But when our friends are in danger, nothing is impossible for us.
We knew we had to act fast. Every hour they spent in that prison could cost them their freedom, or worse, their lives. Labrador and I immediately started devising a rescue plan. First, we made our way through the forest to the prison, avoiding patrols and surveillance cameras. The hardest part was figuring out how to get inside. The security was so tight that even a small mouse couldn't sneak in unnoticed.
When we finally reached the prison walls, I suggested an old trick, a diversion. We started a small fire away from the main gate to draw the guards' attention. While they were dealing with the fire, we quietly slipped onto the grounds through a back entrance. But that was just the first step.
Inside the prison, things were even more complicated. Guards, cameras, and laser traps were everywhere. We knew we didn't have much time. I suggested we split up to find our friends faster. I headed to the east wing, while Labrador went to the west. We agreed to meet in the center at the main hall as soon as we found them.
As I made my way through the corridors, I ran into a guard. I had to act quickly and quietly. I used an old cane I found in one of the cells to take down the guard before he could raise the alarm. But the challenges didn't end there. Ahead of me was another corridor, completely rigged with motion detectors.
Meanwhile, I found our friends. They were locked up in a small, dark cell, chained up. When they saw me, their faces lit up, but there was no time for celebration. I quickly freed them and started leading them out of the cell. We moved cautiously, trying not to attract attention, but we were spotted anyway.
As I made my way through the corridors, I ran into a guard. I had to act quickly and quietly. I used an old cane I found in one of the cells to take down the guard before he could raise the alarm. But the challenges didn't end there. Ahead of me was another corridor, completely rigged with motion detectors.
Meanwhile, I found our friends. They were locked up in a small, dark cell, chained up. When they saw me, their faces lit up, but there was no time for celebration. I quickly freed them and started leading them out of the cell. We moved cautiously, trying not to attract attention, but we were spotted anyway.
Dobie and I met in the center of the prison as planned, but by then, the alarm had already been raised. Guards were converging from all sides. We realized that escaping by conventional means was impossible. That's when I had an idea. The only way to get out of here was to create chaos, to burn this prison to the ground.
At first, I wasn't sure about this plan. The prison was enormous, and setting it on fire seemed insane. But there was no time to think. We grabbed gasoline canisters we found in the storage room and started pouring it along the corridors. I thought about what we were doing, but I knew there was no other way.
As the prison began to burn, the guards scattered. In their panic, they didn't even notice as we and our friends slipped out through the main gate. But the fire spread quickly, and we had to hurry to avoid getting trapped ourselves. We ran out of the prison grounds and into the forest, where our allies were already waiting for us.
Looking back at the blazing prison, I had mixed feelings. On one hand, we had saved our friends, but on the other, it was an extreme step. However, seeing the joyful faces of those we freed, I knew we had done the right thing. Our mission was accomplished.
As the fire consumed the entire prison, we returned to our hideout. Our friends were safe, and we knew that no one would ever be imprisoned in that dreadful place again. This story became another testament to the fact that we're willing to do whatever it takes to save those we care about, even if it means burning down the most secure prison in the world.
Yes, we did what needed to be done, and now we're ready for new adventures, because in our world, there's always someone who needs help. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.
What a day, Dobby! We were trying to escape a super prison, and now we've ended up in some kind of confectionery trap. Why are we even fighting this sugar monster?
This is pure madness, Labrador. We barely got out of the cell, and now we're facing this candy boss. Who even thought it was a good idea for the guards to turn into sweet giants? And the craziest part, we've got an RPG in our hands.
I have a feeling there's a real monster hidden beneath that sugary exterior. He's firing candy at us like he's got an endless supply. Let's flank him and land a couple of precise shots.
Great idea, Labrador. I'll distract him, and you sneak around behind and aim for the center. Stay clear of that candy wave. I nearly got stuck already. Thanks, everyone, and see you next time.